Hi there, welcome. Thank you for being here. I'm Violet. That's Rose. We're gonna dive in and get a little bit of clarity. I actually was not going to do a reading tonight. Wasn't in the plans. And I kept hearing, this is not for everyone. So I don't think this is going to be a reading for everyone. Keep that in mind. Feel free to click off if it does not resonate. That being said, I did go and get a few different decks of cards that I don't always use. So let's dive in. This is a timeless reading, so see what feels like it fits, resonates, and trust that divine guidance you have to your higher self, to God, Source, the universe. The answer is always found in you. And try to make balanced decisions that are based in love so we can all help uplift each other in love. Let's begin with what is this? The unspoken truth. Let's see what God, Source, Holy Spirit, Christ consciousness, our higher selves, angels, and energies of love have for the highest and greatest good of all. So the first thing I see here is somebody looking at their phone, remembering how they felt, how their feelings have not changed about you, whether you know that or not. It says, hearing your name still makes my heart race. This could be somebody you broke up with. This could be somebody from your past. You probably had a special connection. This person feels a lot towards you. I'm not sure how you were feeling about them unless this is you. And you were coming across somebody's name, seeing, a post on social media. You even overhear somebody else having a conversation about this person if you have mutual friends or something like that. And it's almost like, not really even like your heart skips a beat. I actually just felt my stomach turn a little bit, but not in a bad way. Just maybe you haven't thought about this person for a while. And then all of a sudden, like when you smell somebody's perfume, you are taking right back to a memory. So let's continue with this deck. Let's see what else is going on right now for whoever needs to hear this. I really thought you'd always be here. I got a huge, overwhelming, energy last time I got this card in a reading. I feel like the person is still around, maybe even lives close by, in your town, in your city. I'm not really getting a distance. And this is somebody who perhaps took you for granted because I really thought you'd always be here. Apparently you're not here, but they're still hearing your name. So it could be somebody that you gave maybe one too many chances to. You put your foot down, you moved along, you're with somebody else now. I keep hearing took you for granted. This is somebody who just thought you'd show up even if they didn't, didn't show up for you. No wonder you left. So let's see. I keep hearing a no-show. I'm getting that somebody didn't show up actually at a time when you really needed it. You needed them. And maybe I'm kind of getting that maybe if it was an overwhelmingly emotional situation or something like that, it could have been immaturity on this person's part. It could also be somebody that didn't show up because they were nervous about your reaction or your response, but I'm not really getting that you really responded badly. But maybe this person was used to getting bad responses, so they put you in assumption land. Let's get one more. What is one more to clarify whoever needs to hear these messages right now? Please and thank you. Ooh, what was that? Two people on their phones again. It kind of looks like they're in the same room, but I don't think you're in the same room as this person unless this is somebody that you actually live with and you're just not connecting, you're not having conversations, you just kind of silently move into different rooms. But I'm getting hesitation. I think for most of you, this is somebody that wants you to make the first move, but that's how you are feeling as well. So maybe there's been a lot of distance, even if that's emotional, physical, time distance where you haven't heard from this person. I'm not getting that somebody really is trying to pull the old silent treatment. I feel like maybe just time has gotten, more and more vast. Or I actually feel like your energy is that you've been doing pretty good, like doing your own thing. Because I feel like even with this one, it feels like it's kind of like a surprise. Like, you've been working on yourself. Your schedule's really busy. And I feel like somebody had pinnacle points where they even had a whole text ready to go and erased it, backtracked, or never hit send. We're both waiting for each other to make the first move. Now, for another group of you, if this is somebody kind of new, you're not really keen on each other's texting, communication styles. Maybe, it feels like a little game playing's going on, but I get that someone's just really into you, trying to tread lightly, not wanting to mess it up, and there is a lack of initial understanding on how you and this person communicate. I'm getting that as a totally different group or a totally different person in your life. So maybe you do have something new going on. So let's go to this one. Is rather raw. This is what's the hi Rose. I know baby. This is the what's the tea. I don't pull this out very often. So let's dive right in and spill the tea, why don't we? Wow, that was so quick. Fishing for comments. You have another, I see a phone, but I guess that's somebody actually writing something down on physical paper. So maybe somebody is even posting on social media, hoping to get a like, or just hoping somebody happens to watch it. But if there is, I'm getting the double text, that's like a thing. Like if you send out a text to someone and they do not respond, that's probably your answer. Maybe they're busy, maybe they're not interested, maybe they have moved on. So no need to double text, they got the first one. Now I hear not knowing how to respond. So maybe there was a text bomber or somebody that, wanted to, it's like a text that wasn't even of, I don't want to say of value, but it was more like they just wanted to hear somebody's response than actually have an answer to whatever the question was. So let's see, tell us more. Who's fishing for comments? Ooh, clout hungry. Say anything, does anything, and makes crap up and dramatic. Maybe you left somebody that was a drama king or queen. Somebody's clout hungry. That means that, they're like willing to do anything for attention. They want compliments, they want comments, they want communication, they want attention, they want to be in the spotlight. I am getting that, I don't know, I feel like this is a different person now that I'm suddenly tapping into, unless it's somebody you did leave. I'm actually feeling it more like it's a third party, somebody outside that didn't get the attention they wanted. Maybe they even made some shit up about you. That would be a really crappy reason for distance if that person believed this rat over here. So tell us more. I am feeling like that's more of an outside energy. Like I'm getting a lot of neediness out of that, but not confidence. So what else? Well, we know this. Somebody's haunted by the memory of you, haunted by that perfume that's almost like yours that they smelled in the store. Maybe even something happened around Halloween. This is somebody who's having memories, flashbacks, or maybe even shining a inner light, or peeling away the layers on something that was kind of traumatic, maybe really hurtful, and it's like the side effects of the situation. Maybe somebody really hurt you. They don't even know how deeply you felt or what you went through in that space. And maybe in that space now someone is coming to terms or feeling, an odd reflection or a different reflection on memories, nostalgia. It's like you keep sneaking back even if you're not there. So, can I multitask with you, babe? Let's get another one. Oh, she's pushy. Maybe somebody is pushy. Tell us more. There we go. That's the outside energy I felt. So maybe that's why this reading is not going to be for everyone. Now, when you see a third party, although this does say very specifically love triangle, but I feel like there are two people engaged with each other, really wanting to be together, and there's an outside energy that wants one or the other of them. So now with a third party situation, it doesn't have to be that this person is having an affair or is actually in a, third party situation. It could be an ex. It could be a mother. It could be a coworker. It's usually just someone that is the third wheel, feels like the third wheel, is perceiving a situation different, or could also be there is one person who is giving equal, attention when they are there to two people. So there's two people being duped in that situation because they both think that they're the only one. It could also be that somebody is now reflecting on their choices, or recognizing that if you took yourself out of the game, you are the choice, not an option. Then maybe somebody is even haunted by the memory of you because the person they are now with really wants a lot of attention, but they're starting to recognize there's something inauthentic and stinky about their energy, because I'm getting like clingy. Like maybe you gave somebody space when they needed it, and now somebody maybe had even big words, and now the actions are, I'm getting like invading their space. So let's pull one more. Rose, I'm trying to multitask, babe. Let's do one more. Hold on. One more from this deck. Oh, it's like a surprise. Let's see what it is. All right, so I'm not going to show you this because these are, I don't know if I can show it on YouTube, but there's somebody who is really bothered. They're threatened by you, or they were. Maybe that's why they said whatever they had to say to try to win, to be the trophy, to have their catch. But I don't think that they got it on valid terms or through divine means. And they're threatened. They're bothered by you. There could also be somebody who, let's just say, now a different group of you. Sometimes when I have these readings, I feel like it's literally different groups, pockets, situations. So do not force Cinderella's slipper to fit if it doesn't make any sense to you. This could also be giving you clarity on somebody you care about, but it's not your situation. So I do feel like for some of you, we're going to go back to, you're both waiting for the other to make the move, and you got a little communication, but you don't, want to seem like you're playing games. You want to see cool, calm, and collected, and you got your thing going on, even though you really like this person and they like you. And maybe this person really does like you to the point where they even maybe put you on a pedestal a little bit. Are they good enough? Because if somebody is intimidated, then maybe you do make somebody a little bit nervous, like a little too many butterflies in their stomach. They want to, I don't know, I just heard like prove they're the right one for you. I don't think that the person that's right for you needs to prove it. They just exude it. So let's go to, I actually want to go to something totally different. This is going to be for you. Hi, babe. This is the Soul's Journey lesson card. Let's see what your current lesson is, or what would be helpful to know about, to heal, to release, to embrace the now. What would be helpful? What is the current lesson that the collective is going through, or whoever needs to hear this reading? Fear and grief. Okay. So releasing fears, going through grief, allowing that process to be natural. That is not an easy process. Neither of these are. This could also be that you are going through one or went through one already healed, and the other one is whoever you're thinking about. So it says, I realize that I am testing my resolve to live in the energy of love, not fear. I keep hearing acceptance. So if you're always fearful that somebody's going to take away your person, then that's the energy you're putting out there. Even if they're not doing anything, let's just say somebody, does the old like, that person was kind of hot. If you sit there and you give attention to whoever you think they're hot, and you're not exuding that it's not even a big deal, owning your owning your confidence. If you give something attention, now you're giving more energy to the attention you don't want to give attention to. Maybe that's something you are learning, or this person is. But if somebody was, kind of threatened that you are good looking or confident, or, you got your thing going on, people pass you their number or whatever, but they're in the energy of lack or fear, that they're going to lose you, and they got into an energy of a little too much jealousy, then maybe that was a turn off to you. I understand that losing something is, somebody is haunted. So if somebody is now going through grief over you, it's really hard, and it's sad if somebody had to realize what they lost by losing them. When it was there, they didn't embrace it, they didn't cherish it, and then as soon as it's gone, that's all they can think about. So whoever's here, at least they are now reflecting with those memories back and appreciating what you did do when you were there, how your energy was maybe really different from anything else that they've ever experienced. And if you are the one going through grief, there's going to be ups and downs, ins and outs. It's going to be fine one day and then slip back in another, but it's a process. We are all always growing. And sometimes you can go through grief when it's not necessarily losing a relationship or a person. You can go through grief by feeling like you lost a dream, but you get to have new dreams. And if you lost a relationship, maybe you get to really get in tune with that relationship you have with yourself, between you and God, source, and maybe you and friends or new people that come into your life. So did I bring anything? I did. I'm going to do this. I'm going to go big. I have the archetypes, and I really like that this has sorry about the crackling noise. This has always just like a beautiful, beautifully written explanation in the book. So let's get you an archetype. Now I'm going to pull this one for you and see what energy, what messages would be helpful. What would be the biggest helpful message for you right now. It's the same one that came through, I think, the last time I used this. So it's the Anima Mundi. So let's read it again. I guess you need to hear this message again. I know it's at the end, so it shouldn't take me long to find. Let me take off my headphones, put on the old readers, and I will read this kind of quickly. Anima Mundi epitomizes, also I'm going to let you see this. You see in the middle, there's finding your center. Anima Mundi epitomizes the principal aspect of all and reject none. Simply put, it is the living soul of the world in all of its multifaceted, multidimensional layers. Bonded together by loving cosmic forces, diversity is celebrated, multiplicity is honored, and nothing is denied. Embrace constructs of separation. They dissipate into the wonderful mess of shared consciousness. Anima Mundi is the link between the literal and the imaginal. Try to see like the other perspective, the other perspective. Even somebody that's clout hungry over here, desiring attention. It's probably also stemming from a root cause, perhaps in childhood or where they were hurt. So maybe that's, that latching onto and smothering kind of energy is somebody doing that because they're really scared of loss. So it's a defense mechanism. So, and if you find that you are in any kind of defensive position, mechanism, whatever, have self-reflection and try to see the light, because somebody can really F up. It doesn't mean their actions are right at all, but try to see the deeper soul, the deeper truth in anybody, no matter where they are on, the facet of your overall situation. So it's shared consciousness. Anima Mundi is the link between the literal, the imaginal, the rational, the mystic, the connection, the fiber that makes life meaningful. This card indicates an initiation on the level of the soul. You will awaken the unique light within and witness how this light contributes to the radiance of the entire universe. You will sense yourself as a critical note in the cosmic orchestra. Destiny is altered as you hear the enchanted melody of all living things. Everybody has their own unique lessons to learn, their own unique perception upon their situation, and each is valid. So let's go right to the tarot and get you a little clarity and see what this is about. I feel like this one is correct. This is the Star-Kissed. So let's specifically for you right now take a look at what would be helpful to have awareness on and of, for growth, for clarity, for healing, and understanding. I heard just let go. Like, let go. Trust yourself. If somebody is going to do something weird, let them show you who they are. So, clarify. Yeah, I just got that really big. So let's just say you are with your honey, or you're now reflecting on past honeys you've been with. And whether that is you or you are the one that felt smothered, whichever way, we probably all have been on both sides of that spectrum at some point. So I'm going to go outside of both of those situations and let you feel what resonates for you. But let's just say somebody is desiring freedom. They want to go out with their friends. They don't want to be policed, or have I am getting that maybe there's a masculine energy that wants a little freedom, but what if they're at that party? What if they haven't texted back? What if they met somebody cuter? Or what if, I don't know, they're going to go cheat on me with that person that is always saying all those weird things about you. What if, so let them. If someone is like smothering somebody's energy so much, that usually just makes somebody want to go away, to have that freedom. If you are confident and owning it and just standing in your power, in your standing in your truth, standing in your sovereignty, then you're something that somebody is going to be attracted to, want to come back to. And if you let someone go and you're afraid that they're going to go cheat on you, let them. Let them show you who they are. Better to know sooner when you offer the freedom than to find out later. And the only reason, they didn't do it them is because you were holding on so tight to something that was probably not healthy for you anyway. So I'm getting like, yes, I hope that was helpful. So let's continue. What would be what's something that would be the most helpful to focus on right now? You have the Ace of Coins. Focus on what you can plant into the earth in your everyday reality that would grow into something amazeballs. I'm going to pause you because I've actually been expecting this call, and we will continue soon. So you have the beginning. The Ace of Coins is beautiful. I love the Ace of Coins energy. It's telling you right now your focus should be on what you can plant in your everyday reality that can really grow this beautiful abundance in your world. This is the garden you want to tend. This is the environment you want to be in, because it's the everyday experiences of your life, everything in the what you can touch land of now. So if you have that beautiful seed there, or that beautiful offer, that beautiful opportunity, that idea, but it's an idea that you can almost feel in your hands, but you never put it in the ground. You never take steps towards it. It's not going to grow very big if you shove the seed in the drawer. So this is where you are recognizing you have many blessings of abundance coming in, but abundance is not being in that lack mentality. Abundance is believing that your garden will grow, and then putting your energy, effort, attention, love into it to make it do so. Also recognizing there are seasons. If you're trying to plant a tulip outside when it's snowy in the garden, it's probably not going to grow unless you maybe build a greenhouse, put some fun lights out there, and make the environment rich. So clarify this beginning. What does it say upside down? I always forget that these have a missed opportunity. Maybe that was how you felt. You offered somebody the golden seed of opportunity. Here, we can build this together. And somebody shoved it in the drawer. Never put any effort into it. Maybe somebody is now recognizing that they missed a pretty damn good opportunity with you. I just heard that sounded so snotty. I just heard too bad, so sad. So maybe, somebody's kind of like over it. Energy was weird. So clarify the Ace of Coins, and clarity on your focus. The Three of Coins. Focus on taking steps towards maybe new knowledge, new growth, paying attention to who you work well with. Maybe this is right now is a time to work on yourself. I love that there's all these snowflakes, realizing that you are a beautiful soul, unique as a snowflake. Also, the snowflakes are giving me a little emoto energy. Pay attention to the words you say to yourself and others, even out to the universe. Have consciousness over them and their vibration. And it says building a foundation. I do feel like you already have the foundation here. So what are you going to do today to start to build it? Build your empire. Build your dream. Build your partnership. Or if you felt like you fell down over here, get back up and Even I got that in another like reinvent yourself. If it's upside down, it's not being recognized for the value that you are. Feeling like you were taken for granted. Having a great idea at work that could, be the solution to all the I don't know, I hear just scruffles. Is that even a real word? The scruffling going on, or maybe a big old mess, or problems with the numbers, whatever it is. You have the solution and you're not heard. That would be really frustrating, and that would also be a place to take yourself out of and go where you are heard. And if you feel like no one really gets you, you have really unusual ideas, and this thing you want to plant hasn't ever been done before, then get your spirit guides hear you loud and clear and will guide you. It's building a foundation. It's also recognizing others' talents. There might be somebody who has a talent that is so different than you, but maybe that's exactly what you need to, I just heard the keystone in a situation. That was interesting. So clarify the Three of Coins. It's telling you to get to work. There's something you should be working on, but it's taking steps that elevate you. You're not plateaued here. And you're also following the golden clues or the golden coins, the opportunities that maybe keep opening up after you say yes to that initial one that you just knew without a doubt, felt right in your bones. So clarify the Three of Coins, building foundation, the Ace of Coins. I also feel if you are in your feels or if you are really in your head, this is telling you to ground yourself. Come back down to earth. Breathe. Like, 4 counts in, but 8 counts out. Even just a little bit of that breath work can completely change up your energy. Or take off your shoes, even if it's snowy outside, and put your feet on the earth. Ground yourself. Clarify. I want to see what's beyond this. It actually does. Let me show you this. It does look like you are taking steps towards something that is going to expand, branch you out. You have like a money tree there. Perhaps even put a money tree in your house, or even something like bamboo, just to have that energy. I do feel like if you have a little bit of like nature, plants around you, that would be helpful and positive. Because now I see somebody talking to their plants. If you talk to your plants and you're like, you're beautiful today, they're gonna grow amazeballs. But if you're like, why aren't you growing? They're gonna be like, fuck you, I'm not gonna come out of the ground anymore. Like, this is not a happy environment. They actually don't grow as well, if you say negative things. So take that message towards your plants and bring it back to you and everybody that you speak to. I'm getting encouragement, positivity, even happiness. If you just dance around your house naked or in your socks, or you turn on a song and you sing, that can immediately switch up your energy, your vibration as well. I'm getting someone doing this, loosen you up. Maybe it's even doing that. What is one more? One more biggest message that would be guidance. You got the Tower. All right, what's at the bottom? And the Nine of Coins. I did see the shakeup. Maybe this is a big shakeup. The Tower, it does say it's a painful transition, specifically in this card, but I don't see it as that. The Tower can be the exact opposite. You're doing your thing, you're moving from the Ace to the 3 and eventually to the 9, which is pretty good. This is self-sufficiency. This is where you're so freaking proud of all of the effort you put into something because, you stood your ground, you put in the energy. You're at the position where now you have this space that you created or this project that is yours. It's where you can relax after all that work. It's also where, what are you working for, and are you actually giving yourself that balance? Sometimes I see the 9 as also someone who's just enjoying being alone, like looking around at the space they created and feeling at home there. It's also usually, in the typical tarot, the girl outside in her garden with a big old bird, on her arm. So there is an energy of being accompanied. I think I said that weird, or surrounded by animals, connecting to animals. But if you're just little Snow White in the woods and all you do is talk to the animals and there's no actual communication because we are a species that we're social, then maybe it's being a little social. You have a beautiful, place where you have a big dining room table, but you never invite anyone over for dinner. And if you don't know anyone you would like to invite for dinner, maybe you take yourself out to dinner. Maybe you meet somebody new. You be in that energy of abundance all the time. Because the Tower can be where there was a dry spell for a while. It wasn't, you weren't paying attention for love, and bam, there they are, right when you weren't looking. Or it can be when you sent a bunch of resumes out. Nobody responded. Or you went to those interviews, they were all duds. Or maybe you tried a lot of different jobs and you just did not like any of them. What are you meant to do? What is your destiny? What are you here for? Why does nothing make sense? Why are none of these open doors, feeling like my thing or my truth? And then one open door you walk through is the right one. And it doesn't take away the value or validity of all those other experiences you had. It actually makes you value the thing that you see that is perfect way more. Now, that doesn't have to be job. Take that, how it resonates with you. Those could be relationships. But if the Tower comes through, it's usually where there's outside spiritual energies happening. It could also be someone over here, if you have the weirdo over here that need a lot of attention, created their own tower. If somebody is reaping the seeds that they are sowing, let them feel what it is, energetically to get it back. Because I don't think that's your message here. I feel like you took something like a champ. Sometimes something really weird comes by and something is ripped out of your life and then it's gone. How do you rebuild? How do you think about that specific Tower situation and how you should be proud of yourself? How, if you went through that Tower situation back then, you're probably handling it different. That's growth. And if something was wobbling too much, it's eventually going to fall. So don't stand there in the rubble if that is not the right environment where you can even rebuild. Sometimes there's too much rubble to get back to that solid foundation. So it's rebuilding different. Reflecting better. And anything that is sudden, extreme, rough, unexpected, whether that's something delightful or weird as hell, you get the choice to react. You get the choice to start fresh. You have an ace. So if you get a chance to start fresh, what's the first thing you get to do? And sometimes it's this painful transition. Sometimes, all right, if you are going through a gigantic spiritual growth spurt where you're really learning about, that confidence in how you are such a beautiful soul and somebody should see that as a gift to get to be with you. But you had some rough situations. It's like, if you go through a growth spurt, it's usually a little painful, but worth it when you look back. What is it upside down? Needed transition. It's transition either way. And either way, it's taking you to the Tower, which is amazing. That is your healing. That is a dream come true. It's a wish you maybe didn't even know you were dreaming until you got to tangibly feel it. I'm also getting that somebody is going to reflect on something that they desired, and I'm getting a little more ego desire in the past, whatever that is. That could even be that dream that I saw before. And something's going to come to light, almost like a truth revealed, that you are so grateful. I'm getting that you were really protected with something. You know, let's just, I don't know, I do hear fame. Let's just say you really want to be famous, you know, but something happens and all of a sudden there's things being revealed where you're like, yeah, that wouldn't have been the right environment for me. Even though I felt like I was stripped away from a situation you thought was your dream. Maybe it was protection. Or maybe there's a way to reinvent that dream so that you are not surrounded by weird energies that maybe would have taken advantage of you or not seen your true light. I hear sucked you into the shade. I don't think that message was for everyone, but that did feel big. The Nine of Coins here says prosperous victory, where you feel like it's a victory because this is your thing. You made it your own. You were open to the universe presenting a different doorway than you had in the plans, or you were told had to be like this. I feel like you're breaking the mold. I don't know, I hear you're sharing your gold. But now that just made me think of an actual thing that is tangible, that you can touch, feel. I heard say gold again. So I don't know what that is. Maybe you invest in gold. Or maybe that's in energy. Unfulfilled achievement is upside down. Also, I will say, to end this reading, just to have awareness, when I see this card upside down, that's my codependent energy message. It's somebody that rides on somebody else's coattails, or, you know, gets really excited about somebody else's purse string because it makes them feel more important or better, or, you know, anything from the white picket fence to the Prada purse, whatever it is. But it's somebody that did not do the work themselves, other than want to be the trophy. Somebody who's around somebody for the photo op, but they're not really a friend. Somebody who is gonna feel unfulfilled because they never put energy and work into their own dreams, maybe never even ask themselves what those dreams are. Their dream was to be taken care of by someone else, but there's a hollowness to that. Because if somebody is completely putting all of their energy into somebody else, making them feel like they have a foundation of security and they think that makes them secure, what if that foundation with the tower here was ripped away? What if all the investments in the paper thing went away one day? Or what if somebody was completely reliant on the internet and it went dark? What's the difference between the one who has a little preparedness, because I see somebody that just has books. The internet might go out, but you got a book on how to raise chickens, you're good. You know, or, you know, knowledge in a different way. So if somebody never had a skill, even a skill, let's just say we all go back to the dark ages here. You know, there's no internet. We all have to like get on a horse or like an old tractor to get to, you know, grandma's house, which is, you know, miles away or whatever it is. Let's just say, you know, I don't feel like this is a prediction, but even if it was just like a couple days, something like that, skill is going to be extremely valuable. Going back to that Three of Pentacles, you know, if there's a community and a house fell down, and, you know, the neighbors all get together to put that house up, it actually is very helpful if one had the books, one is the architect, one has, you know, the muscles, one has the tools. If you all work together, it can create such beautiful things, or more beautiful than you realized. So if somebody is riding the coattails here and never even realized that maybe they were really talented at something, but never even put any energy, effort, or thought into what they could do on their own, they might be shorting themselves off of something that could have been a big blessing in their life. Because they just always expect someone to open the pickle jar for them. So I hope that was helpful. I don't think that's everyone. I mean, I think that maybe it's just giving you a little clarity on somebody else's process or why they act in a certain manner, and allowing yourself to see those different facets helps you. You know, I am getting that it's also with empathy. Because even if you see somebody acting like a sour energy over there, you don't always know what they went through or the towers that fell in their life. Maybe you do get up strong and good. You know, I'm gonna start again. I have to redo my garden. That tornado came through. My garden's gone. Let's start tomorrow, or let's take a break, and then in 2 days we're gonna start this. Maybe somebody else isn't so good with that. Maybe you can inspire someone if you feel like that is you. So with this, I bid you adieu. I hope this reading was helpful. And I very much look forward to seeing you soon. Thank you for being a blessing in my life.